TTRL, it's your man Ricey. We are back one more week. I did say TTRL. This is Tara Talks, Ryan Listens. I'm Ryan and I'm not listening.
I'm Tara and I'm not talking.
You better not be talking. Nobody want to hear you.
Man, I can barely talk.
Clearly. What's wrong with you?
Well, as you know, but as some of you may not know, I am...
Duh. There's the audience.
suffering from life's ailments.
Ew.
Currently known as... I thought it was allergies, but the doctor said either bronchitis or upper respiratory infection.
Gross.
Regardless, it results in a lot of gross symptoms that are flu-like symptoms, but apparently the flu season's over, so it's something else now attacking my lungs and other ear, nose, throat, all of that. I watch a lot of Grey's. I should know. I should be able to
as many
diagnose
doctor and
myself.
hospital shows as you watch.
Right,
you
Grey's,
should know the direct
Chiropractic,
answer.
House, ER.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized I started rewatching Grey's and never finished ER.
I thought you finished ER.
I didn't. It got weird after they changed the theme song. It got a little too deep, but I got to go back and finish it.
I don't think it counts after they changed that theme song. The theme song's too iconic.
True. Very true.
Anyway.
I think that's why I lost interest. But anyway, I'm back and I just want to say, when I got sick, shout out to my fiance who was like, we can skip the podcast this week. And I was like, no.
Yeah, she did say no. And I was like very happy to hear that from her. Because I believe that consistency is key.
Yes, I was just about to say my whole thing is consistency. That's, like we said before, that's what took us so long to start it, because didn't want to start something that we couldn't be consistent with. So definitely I'm here, even though my voice may sound weird. I apologize.
Yeah, so if today is actually a short episode, like we always say it's going to be a short episode, and then it's not. So if today is a short episode, that's why. Anyway, I guess we can go ahead and get started with the show. Yeah,
so news and current events. What else is there besides B? I mean,
there's not much else.
I said last week was about B, but this week for real is because, as of when we're airing this or when we're recording this, woke up this morning and was blessed with Homecoming. I mean, obviously, we saw the promo from Netflix, so we knew she was going to bless us with the documentary about her Coachella performance. But
that's why my mama called me asking what the Netflix password or email address was.
Oh, you wrong.
No, it wasn't me. Somebody else changed it, and she doesn't know who. So now she's trying to contact
because see, the funny thing is, that I heard someone say that like everybody should change their Netflix passwords on the 16th and see how many people respond or get upset and are frantically trying to figure it out.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I knew the Netflix special was dropping today. I didn't know she was going to drop the live album to go with it. So that was beautiful. And it's so funny. I feel like Beyonce, either she's in my head or she just, when she's thinking about her next project, she's thinking about how we want to receive it. Because as I was watching the Coachella performance last year, I just remember thinking, man, this is great, but I want to watch it again. I want to be able to pause it and rewind it. I want to be able to see the intricate details. I want to be able to actually, On
top of that, we watched it on some bootleg YouTube video, and it was like...
the quality was terrible.
Like 240p.
Yeah.
Like not even 720p or 1080p. Yeah. It was like 240.
To be able to be at home watching it on 4K tonight was amazing, because it was like, okay, this is how...
Wait, you watched it already?
Are you kidding me?
Just wasn't gonna wait for me, huh?
How could I wait for you? Look, I
just want you to know, like, most of the girls that I talked to in the past were like all, of course, mega Beyonce fans. And I was just like, whatever, But now that I've been with you, I actually really like Beyonce now. And I think hold on. I actually really like Beyonce. I was indifferent at first. Okay. I'm still a diehard Destiny's Child fan.
Right.
But I was indifferent about Beyonce's solo career. And that's another victory that you've won. Me being a huge Beyonce fan now.
Yeah.
So I just want you to know how betrayed I feel right now.
You feel betrayed? I don't know why I didn't think that you would want me to wait to watch it with you.
You should also feel betrayed yourself because you betrayed yourself. You played yourself, Khaled Voice. So yeah.
I will watch it again with you.
Oh, you gonna watch it again?
Absolutely.
You're going to.
Here's the thing. I woke up and immediately started playing the album on Tidal. Thank you. Shout out to Tidal. Let me just say, I know everybody is all into Apple Music and Spotify and whatever else you're into.
Yo, Tidal is the truth.
I love Tidal. I got Tidal when she dropped Lemonade because it was only on Tidal. So I was like, yeah, take my money. But then I kept it because I was like, oh, they have actually a lot of like exclusive stuff. And one of those being Nipsey Hussle's funeral, which we'll get to that later. But, you know, I just love that Tidal has a lot of exclusive stuff. So I woke up this morning, listened to it on Tidal, and then watched it later on Netflix. But I just want to unpack a few moments, if you allow me to. I don't think these are really spoilers.
I mean, go ahead.
But so first of all, we all know she's from Houston or whatever, but this quote I just absolutely love. Like at the very beginning, the quote says, "I grew up in Houston, Texas, visiting Prairie View. We rehearsed at TSU for many years in Third Ward, and I always dreamed of going to an HBCU. My college was Destiny's Child. My college was traveling around the world, and life was my teacher." Like, that's so dope because, like, for her to have obviously, you know, not gone to college, but to have just admired the whole HBCU experience and wanted to pay tribute to that through her performance, I thought was phenomenal. I thought that was amazing for her to use her platform for that. And I think it's about Black culture. I mean, I didn't go to a HBCU, but my sister did. A lot of people in my family did. Actually, a lot of people in my family went to PV. And obviously, my fiance went to PV. And, you know, I have a lot of friends who went to HBCU. So I just believe that it's a big part of Black history in general. And so I love that she celebrated that moment. It really got me hype and made me want to go to PV's homecoming with you. Like, it's so funny because ever since we started dating, that was always on the agenda. Okay, we got to go to homecoming together. And it just hadn't happened. I've always either been out of town or traveling for work or some work conference or something going on where I couldn't get away. And I don't know if it's going to happen this year or next year, but I feel like we got to make it happen.
Yeah, it will be this year, but somebody just had to pick a date in October to get married, knowing that that was likely going to be PV's homecoming.
How dare somebody?
I'm not going to say Shanice's name.
How dare somebody named Shanice?
But how dare you? You know who you are. Anyway, point is, of course I'm going to your wedding and not homecoming. The 1 year that Tara would have been able to go. The 1
year I probably could have made it happen.
Already would have been in Houston too for work.
Yeah.
So it would have worked out very nicely. But anyway, it's all good. My best friend is getting married and she's going to be really happy. So that's what I care about.
So another quote.
I can see my face though. I'm like kind of still in pain. But you know.
Another quote. When I decided to do Coachella, instead of me bringing out my flower crown, it was more important that I brought out our culture to Coachella. And so I love that quote. And again, I don't think these are spoilers because either you probably saw it on Twitter or, I mean, it's just obvious. It's not like a show that you don't know the ending to. But I think that's awesome that she, you know, took that opportunity to say, okay, I'm going to Coachella, which, let's be honest, is predominantly white. I mean, most festivals and things like that typically are. And she didn't water down her performance. She didn't, you know, whitewash her performance. She didn't just do her, you know, pop hits and do them the way that they're played on the radio. She remixed them. She added culture. She got a Black band. She had dancers. Like she brought our culture to Coachella. And I think that's really awesome that was obviously very intentional. Another thing I loved that she talked about losing weight after having the twins. And it's so crazy because a lot of celebrities don't really talk about that struggle when they have babies. They just kind of like bounce back and they're like, oh yay, I bounced back. And that was it. Now we know, because we're intelligent, we know they have nutritionists and dietitians and chefs and trainers and all these tools that they can afford to use to bounce back. So it's not like your everyday mom just bouncing back. But Beyonce, being the type of performer that she is, and then having to bounce back and do the type of performance that she did with Coachella, I love that she talked about that struggle. She talked about cutting out, kind of like we did with the Daniels Fest. She talked about cutting out meat and alcohol and sweets and carbs and, dairy and all these things. And she said, I'm hungry. Like, it was literally a shot of her eating an apple. She was like, I'm hungry. But I'm sacrificing to get to my goal. And so I love that. And then it was like a shot of her. Yeah, maybe these are spoilers. It was like a shot of her fitting back into this outfit that she fitted into before the pregnancy, and her FaceTiming Jay, and I think that's just super cute. One thing I love about Beyonce is she doesn't really do a lot of interviews. You don't see her hitting up GMA or any of the The View, any of those basic shows that typical entertainers do to get their work out there. She just drops whatever whenever, and she doesn't really have to advertise for it typically. But when she does release something, she does allow us into parts of her life, but she controls the narrative. And so I think that's really smart of her, where she is able to be vulnerable and intimate in certain moments and kind of show that side of her, but it's on her own terms. And I think that's pretty smart. And then I guess my last kind of thought on it was just the fact that I love that she shared how hard she worked, all the hard work that went behind putting together the Coachella performance, the several months of practice and rehearsal. You get to see her vision behind it, and her actually the production, the direction, the dancers, every little piece that goes into it. Whereas you think of an artist performing, you just think of them performing and then walking off and dropping the mic. You don't think about all the hard work that goes into the practice. You don't think about, them hand selecting dancers and, musicians and cultivating that team, that family. So I just thought that was really awesome that she shared that with us. I also, love that she used Netflix this time instead of HBO. I love HBO, but Netflix is obviously a little bit more accessible for people. Everybody got Netflix. So that was awesome. And then she did put the live album on multiple, I think every streaming service, not just Tidal this time. So I saw a lot of my friends posting it about Apple Music or Amazon Prime or whatever. So that was pretty dope as well. Yeah, like I said, I will rewatch it with you like it's the first time. I'll be rewatching that one for a while. It's probably gonna be one thing that I just randomly put on in the background while I'm cleaning the house, because it's motivational to me to see the way she tells that story, and it's pretty awesome.
All right, so I basically zoned out intentionally, just in case there was something that might have been a spoiler. But I'm back. So
welcome back.
Yeah. No, seriously, the part I did kind of pay attention to was how she incorporates real people. Like I said, I think I said this in last week's show. A guy I went to Prairie View with, he was a drum major. I think he played sax as well. I think he was a senior my freshman year. Cool guy. He might have graduated actually, but he was, I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, point is, he was in the show, and it was pretty dope seeing somebody that I know, so that was pretty awesome. And I'm kind of excited to see this since I zoned out and didn't have it spoiled. So
yeah, we can enjoy it together.
So here's what I need from you though.
What?
Do you know how when you've already seen something and then I watch it with you?
Yeah.
I need you to not be looking at me every 2 seconds with your super huge wide eyes awaiting my visual response. Okay.
All right. I'll try to do that. That'll be hard, but I will try to do that.
And we went to the movies to go see Little this weekend.
We did.
And
Gotta support that black girl magic.
Sometimes your laugh is just like, are you laughing because it's funny, or do you want people to understand that you understood the reference?
What?
Yeah, you be laughing like so hard sometimes. It's just like, okay, yeah.
That's what movies are supposed to do.
I'm just making sure.
Look,
but anyway,
if you don't want me to laugh, we got other problems.
That's not the problem. It's not the laugh. It's not the fact that you're laughing. It's
you think I'm laughing to like
it's
to
just,
be like, I got it.
Not quite. There are times when it seems like that, but man, it was so loud, and I was sitting right next to you, so it was loud. You laugh loud, is what I'm saying, and it's not a problem. It's only a concern during movies when I got to hear the next two lines, but you still laughing.
That's fair.
So,
because then I'll be like, wait, what'd they say?
Right, and then I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna be able to answer because you were laughing.
We just gotta watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely gonna go see Little again anyway because you know we always buy multiple tickets to black movies. So
yeah, absolutely.
And Fast and Furious because it's like my favorite
franchise.
Yeah.
So the other news story I wanted to talk about, Kim Kardashian West is apparently studying to take the bar exam to become a lawyer. Yeah. And she tweeted, aced my test, by the way. And the thing is, and I mean, she had other tweets like the reading is, so time consuming and things like that. I know a lot of people are shocked because a lot of people are like, oh, she's so dumb. How is she going to be a lawyer? Blah, blah, blah. Why would she do that? But the thing is, she has been very involved in a lot of like actual legal decisions, like a lot of political decisions.
Prison reform.
Yes, prison reform, with the Armenian genocide. There's just a lot of things that she has really stepped up. And I mean, I just think that's dope. Like the thing is, her dad was a lawyer, so it's not even a far stretch that's something that she's interested in. We know her dad was on the team representing OJ, and that's kind of how a lot of us originally knew about them. But yeah, it's just one of those things that I thought was interesting because a lot of times celebrities, they may have these other things that they're interested in, or like, oh, if I wasn't famous, this is what I would do, but they rarely actually pursue them. You know what I mean? Like, think about if you had her level of wealth or income, net worth, or whatever you want to call it. Think about like actually going to school for the sake of going to school. Like, because the thing is like, when you go to school, people are like, okay, what you gonna do with that degree? You know what I mean? Or, okay, or even if you go back to school, then it's like, oh, okay, they're gonna give you a raise when you finish. Like, can you imagine just like going to school because like I actually enjoy this and that's just, I'm just doing it even though I don't need to. Like, she's not doing it as to get up ahead in her career is my point, I guess.
I've always said that when I achieve that level of wealth or some level of wealth where I am not required to go to work, probably still going to go get another degree. Hopefully by then it'll be my doctorate and I'll just be wealthy and you got to call me doctor.
I know, right? The thing is like, I actually enjoy school. I'm a huge nerd. Like, so I would do that. I'm
excited about potentially starting my master's degree in the fall. So I'm kind of on that same level with you.
Then the last thing I wanted to talk about was the Notre Dame Cathedral fire. So obviously this is very sad, and I'm not bringing this up to take away from that. I know that, the preservation of history and things like that is very important. I understand, like, I've talked to people who have been there and said, wow, it was just actually beautiful and quite amazing. And, so I'm sure this is a sad day for France. And, I know that this is very significant for a lot of people. However, I just find it odd that they're able to raise so much money for this so quickly. And I thought it was just me, but I saw someone tweet earlier today, and they said, speaking as a Catholic here, please don't donate to help Notre Dame. The church is worth $30 billion. Donate to help Puerto Rico recover. Donate to get the people of Flint clean water. Donate to get kids out of cages. Jesus didn't care about stained glass. He cared about humans. And that quote right there kind of hit me, because I mean, seriously, if you really think about that, I saw another tweet that said, I know that Notre Dame is a very important landmark, but the fact that billionaires have pledged over $600 million in under 24 hours to help fix it just really puts it in perspective how easily rich people could help solve world issues if they cared. And now I'm not saying that it's, you know, rich people's responsibility to save the world's problems, but obviously, you know, there's something to that. Not, you know, again, I'm not putting that responsibility on every rich person to be like, you should donate all your money, but you should donate a large percentage of your money. Like, that's just part of life. Money is meant to be spent. You should give some and you should save some. I mean, like, that's just life.
There's really not much else you can do with it.
Exactly. That's all you can do with it. And, you know, the thing is, like, that level of donation, which I don't think anyone was hurt. I think it's really just a matter of the history that's gone, which is sad. It will be rebuilt. I've already heard, like, literally, as soon as I heard about it happening, I heard about people saying, oh yeah, we're gonna get it restored, like, don't worry. So that just makes me think about Flint. It makes me think about Puerto Rico. It makes me think about, you know, things that we allow to continue to happen in this country that is allegedly, you know, the greatest place. And
the alleged greatest nation, where there are numerous cities that don't have clean water. The poverty level is the amount of people in poverty is way too high. The prison to population ratio is this like so far off the charts. You know, as far as a developed nation, there are so many problems.
Absolutely.
And the term great, you know, is
it's tarnished.
Generous. It's generous.
Yeah.
You know, I agree. Tarnished. I agree with that. I think it's just like something you say.
Right.
Like,
because I remember growing up, you know, in the 90s, oh, America's the greatest country on this earth. You know, that was what we heard, and it was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that, like, America's that awesome. And now the older I get, the more I'm like, actually, America's kind of trash. Like, there are a lot of countries that are doing better things for the environment, for education, for healthcare, for so many other
workforce,
things.
The justice system.
Yeah, there's just like so many other countries that are getting it right. And not saying any place is perfect, but you know, we're not as great as we build ourselves up to be, and there's always room for improvement. And it just breaks my heart to think that we've literally been talking about Flint for so long. And
like, what, 2 years now?
Yeah, and Jaden Smith is the only one trying to do something about it. Like, that's so weird to me. Like,
and when she says only, she means the fact that this 2-year-old kid and not the government.
Right. So it's just, I don't know. That just made me sad. And like I said, I'm not trying to say, you know, that the Notre Dame situation isn't sad. I mean, anything burning down is sad, but you know, what about all the black churches that recently burned down in Louisiana? Like, what about that?
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to say, is that there were definitely 3 churches in Louisiana that were, they're saying it's the target of a hate crime. They have yet to figure out who's doing it. And I think they've only raised like 100,000 or like less than $1 million. And this has been like 2 or 3 weeks in at this point. So, yeah, just kind of
something to think about.
Something to think about.
And another reason why I want to get rich, just so we can, you know, donate and give and not necessarily solve all the world's problems, but definitely do our part.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jaden's 20 years old.
It's so crazy. I think because Pursuit of Happiness came out so long ago, because he was so young.
I thought he was about 22 by now.
Yeah, I thought he was older than that, but yeah, he's pretty young. Well, that wraps up all of my news updates. Go watch Beychella if you haven't yet. It will bless your soul. And anyone that is a Beyonce hater, like, keep your comments to yourself, because you cannot deny she's a phenomenal artist. She gives back to her community. She gave back to Houston, to Puerto Rico. Like, she's using her platform to do something positive. She impacts the culture. Like, I don't want to hear anyone that is a Beyonce hater. You literally don't have any ammo. So go watch Beychella and enjoy it and listen to the live album as well.
2 quick things before we move on, or maybe 3 quick things before we move on. Shout out to everyone who is, using their time, money, and resources to, help with some of these catastrophic events and things in their communities that you're like literally reaching back to make sure that your community is not going without. That you're doing your part to help your community and not just complaining like, some people will just complain and not try to do anything. So shout out to everybody who's trying to make a difference in Flint, in Louisiana, wherever the case is. Shout out to you. And then the next thing, obviously continue to be a Nipsey in the world full of Kodaks. And then the final thing, I keep hearing on the radio, people are like, this one specific radio personality keeps saying Beychella and not Beychella.
What? Are you serious?
So serious.
Beychella?
I was like, where do you see Bey?
It's Beyonce.
It's Beyonce. It's
Beychella.
Right. I was like, it was driving me nuts because he's been saying it for like a good, so when did Homecoming come out the first time?
2018. It was exactly a year ago.
Since then. He's been saying that since then, and it's really driving me nuts.
That is annoying, because here's the thing, like, why would you change the pronunciation when it's a play off of her name, obviously? Right.
It's like you don't call it the Bayhive. It's the Beehive because her name is Beyonce.
Do, and that's wrong too.
Yeah, that's
if that person probably right. That same person is calling.
It probably is the same guy. Anyway, I just wanted to like make sure I wasn't crazy.
No.
So
before we wrap up news, though, I do want to quickly talk about Nipsey Hussle's celebration of life, and again, I want to thank Tidal for airing it because, I mean, it touched my soul. And I have to say, like, I don't like funerals. I used to love funerals. And I know I was the weird person that loved funerals. When it was people that I wasn't really that close to, it was like kind of a distant thing. Like, oh, did you hear so-and-so? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go pay my respects. And then after my dad died, of course, like, I was like, oh, I cannot do this again. It was just like brought up all these old bad memories. And so I really don't like going to funerals now, and I try not to go unless it's someone that I really feel close to, that I feel like I feel compelled to go. But watching that, it was a beautiful Black experience. I mean, it was just very, I don't know how to put it. Like some of I guess this Snoop, his part was very impactful. Of course, Lauren's words it was just amazing. Like, I don't know. It was just motivational, which is weird to say about a funeral, but it kind of was. The pastor that closed it out, man, I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, I was at work when I was watching it live on Tidal. And then, of course, somebody comes into my office and was like, hey, you have a meeting? I was like, ugh, fine, whatever. And right when Lauren came on stage. So I got to see the kids. And then Lauren was up next, and I was just like so angry. I tried to pause it. I guess
it wouldn't pause.
It paused, but I guess it refreshed when I started it again. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so later on I got to catch a few clips of it, and the Snoop Dogg part. If you weren't moved to tears sometime throughout this event, then you don't have a soul. You're not a human. So anyway, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I said, continue to be a Nipsey in a world full of anybody for that matter. Because in my mind, I just refuse to believe that there's too many Kodaks in the world. Or the guy who shot Nipsey. So don't be either one of those people.
Yeah, just do something positive for the community.
Like, there's times when like it's cool to not care what people think about you. But then there's a certain point where you got to care what you think about yourself. And if you're not cognizant of that, then there's probably a deeper seated issue there. So somebody go get Kodak some help. That's all I can say. This dude sound like I never thought that all of the screws were tight in his mind, but now they seem to be missing. But anyway, it's enough of that.
Obscure news.
All right. So somebody is leaving bowls of mashed potatoes around Jackson, Mississippi.
Are you serious?
So serious. According to HuffPost, residents of a neighborhood in Jackson, Mississippi are confused by the bowls of mashed potatoes they're finding on their cars, porches, and mailbox.
On your car? If I found a bowl of mashed potatoes on my car?
See, we got some issues in this particular area where we live, and it's not even just, it's just one residential family, I guess, who is kind of causing problems for us. So if I find mashed potatoes on my car, I'm automatically gonna assume it's them, and I'm gonna go put it back on their property. I'm like, here, get your mashed potatoes.
Yeah, because they be doing some weird stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they left some mashed potatoes on our car.
Right.
But that is so weird.
Yeah, so you'll get a kick out of this next part. Resident Jordan Lewis described the Belhaven neighborhood as a quirky one, with residents decorating road signs and putting Christmas trees in potholes.
Wow.
Jordan Lewis is why I said you'd get a kick out of it. Anyway, the quote, "So we don't know if someone's just playing a prank or if someone just had a lot of leftovers."
That's hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
I got all these mashed potatoes. Let them give them out.
And you know what's crazy? It's like the bowl I'm looking at, I'm not gonna watch the video, but the bowl I'm looking at, they're like they're seasoned pretty well. You know, like they got the little garlic and
right. So it's not like your average everyday bland potatoes.
Yeah.
I might put some thought into that.
Someone else says some of the potato finders have connections to a local private Christian university, which may be a clue. It's unclear if anyone's eaten the mashed potatoes, and I really hope not.
I would not eat a random bowl of mashed potatoes.
1, you don't know where it came from. 2, you don't know how long it's been sitting there. 3, it's in a bowl and not covered and exposed to the elements. So anyway, somebody says they might have been poisoned to kill animals. You know, I guess, you know, animal control, I guess, which still doesn't really seem to be the way to go.
Right.
Somebody said I didn't taste it. I have a 3-second rule, so I didn't touch it. So, I mean, I guess that makes sense. You don't know how long it's been there, but still, you also don't know where it came from. So, yeah, I will keep an eye on this particular story and see if there's an update. See if anybody figures out where they came from, and figure out what happens with that.
That is so weird.
Remind me to look for that next week, okay? Because I will forget.
Okay.
All right. Also, this one's gonna creep you out a lot, so feel free to tune out.
Oh,
I'm not even gonna go too deep into this one. Speaking of beehive,
yes,
doctors discover 4 bees in woman's left eye living off of her tears.
No.
Yeah, the Taiwan patient's vision was likely saved because her contact lenses kept her from rubbing her eyes.
Stop.
Yeah, 29-year-old patient. Oh wow, 29. Last month went to the hospital because of severe pain in that particular eye. Doctors discovered tiny bees feeding off the moisture in her tear ducts.
What is a tiny bee? I was worried about regular sized bees.
Yeah, I guess I guess they get small. Maybe they were babies or something. Maybe a bee got in her eye or something and had bee babies or something.
Bee babies. Really?
Whatever bee babies are called.
Blue ivy.
Yeah, there you go.
Certain room.
And there was 4 of them. So yeah, maybe it was Beyonce.
No.
Blue, certain room.
No. That is bizarre.
Yeah, I see what you did there. And I'm sure that created quite a buzz.
You think you're funny?
I was just participating. Okay.
Quite a buzz.
Yeah, I didn't think it was funny at all. I just wanted to again participate.
Okay.
In your corniness.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I don't see anything else worth talking about here. The woman was discharged and is expected to make a full recovery. The still living bees were sent to a research facility where they'll be studied.
Let me tell you what, that story right there is a great example of why you should go to the doctor when you feel like something's off. Because a lot of times, like, you're just like, oh, I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's fine. No, go to the doctor and let them tell you if it's nothing or not. Because, I mean, imagine how long she could have lived with those bees buzzing around her retina. Yeah,
she would have eventually lost her vision. She was wearing contact lenses, which kept her from rubbing her eyes. Wow. In case the contact lenses broke, then the bees would have potentially, I guess, went into defense mode in her eye. She could have probably lost the whole eyeball. Frankly.
That's so scary.
Yeah.
Wow, that's random.
Yeah. All right, and this is just so odd. Substitute teacher fired after bullets fall out of pockets in pre-K class. Wow. Though it's not illegal to bring ammunition onto school grounds, the teacher will face charges for improperly securing his guns at home. If you are a substitute teacher, in a pre-K classroom. What is it that you feel that you need to be ready for?
Wait, so did the teacher have the gun or just the bullets?
The bullets. According to this, a substitute teacher in Massachusetts may have shot his career ambitions in the foot after bullets fell out of his pocket during class. The unidentified teacher was covering a pre-kindergarten classroom on Thursday at Elwood Street, and I'm not going to read the school. When bullets fell onto the classroom floor, another teacher overheard the bullets hitting the floor and notified the principal. The police said that the teacher claimed he had been shooting the day before. Now, I get the possibility of you leaving something in your pockets. Because, like, I know you remember, were we in the car together when, I don't think we were in the car together, but apparently the I guess founder or CEO or something, not founder, but CEO or president or something of Levi's Jeans, the denim company, says he never washes his jeans because you're not supposed to wash denim.
Yeah, no, I was in the car.
So we were. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, if that's apparently that's the thing, you're not supposed to wash denim, especially not frequently. So obviously, if he was wearing jeans, then he probably didn't wash them. And even if he did, it's possible that the bullets did not fall out of his pocket, because I've washed pants several times and then found the same quarters in my pockets. Now, however, if you know that you were firing weapons one day, let's say on Wednesday you were firing weapons, and then Thursday you know you're finna go hang out with some 4-year-olds, why on earth would you not check your pockets? That's just like you didn't consider safety, which a teacher's job, substitute or not, is to provide a safe learning environment.
Yeah, and nowadays, I mean, we grow up, we are in the post-Columbine era. I think it was, 20 years a few weeks ago since Columbine, and that's just so crazy. It's sad. I mean, but that's the world we live in, where we've had so many school shootings in the last 20 years that, you can't take no chances.
So apparently he was wearing the same clothes 2 days in a row. And the magazines were left in his pocket. Again, plausible, but also I don't know much about guns, but I've never seen anybody just carry bullets in their pocket like that. That just seems kind of weird to me.
I don't know.
The people who I know who deal with guns and weapons of that sort generally keep the bullets in a specific place to prevent things like that. But again, my biggest involvement with guns is I think I was like 12, and I was out in the country part of Texarkana with my cousin, and he had a BB gun. So we were shooting beer cans, and I think we tried to shoot a crow or something, and the little BBs weren't going that far into the sky. So we just tore some cans up. That's my most experience with guns. So
my most experience with guns is hearing you tell that story. So
oh, wow.
I can't even relate, but all I can say is, got to be more careful.
Right. His license to carry firearms is now suspended. Officers later seized 6 handguns, 12 shotguns, and rifles and ammunition from the teacher's home. Though it's not illegal to bring ammunition on school grounds, that teacher will face charges for not properly securing them. It's not. The police chief says to me that's just not a sound judgment. An individual not thinking clearly or having a strong concept of gun ownership or gun responsibility. And that's where the problem is. Yes, you have a Second Amendment right to carry your guns, to have your guns, to do whatever the case. But at the same time, everybody else also has a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And if you're shooting me, then my liberty is taken away because of yours. And you could have very easily, had your guns and kept it somewhere else and kept it out of my way. So at that point, you're impeding on my inalienable right. But anyway, that's just how I personally feel about that. Again, this is just what they said happened. They said he was wearing the same pants the next day. But, I think that the police department suspending his license and taking away his weapons and ammunition was the right call. Because especially if this is a substitute teacher who people entrust their 4-year-olds with, then I wouldn't want any more lapse of judgment or accidents to occur. Because at that point, let's be honest, nobody wants another school shooting, especially with children that young.
Yeah. So
if you are a gun person, nobody's telling you not to be a gun person. We're just telling you to be smart gun people. All right. Cool.
All right, now it's time for our listener letters. And remember, you can email us at askttrl@gmail.com. That's askttrl@gmail.com. We want to hear from you, whatever you got going on. If it's some family drama, work drama, or just a random question that you want to get our opinion on, we would love to hear it. So definitely shoot us an email. Again, it's askttrl@gmail.com. So our first question is from Ross, and Ross asks or says, I just read a story about a woman showing up to her ex's wedding pleading for him back. Want to get your thoughts on that. Also, have you heard of something like this happening?
Only in sitcoms have I heard about this happening, and usually it's not the woman, it's the man showing up to profess his love for the woman. I've only seen it in TV shows, and it doesn't end well in TV shows. And in most cases, art imitates life. So the writer or director or producer probably had something like that in mind. So I don't doubt that it happens. But I guess you shouldn't invite your exes to weddings.
You should not. What is that from? Oh, Friends.
No, How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, How I Met Your Mother. Well, really both.
I mean,
there's
a lot of similarities between those two shows.
Absolutely.
But the one I'm thinking about is How I Met Your Mother, when Ted was about to marry Stella, and then Stella was like, no, don't invite Tony. And then he was like, no, it's okay. I invited Robin. So it's kind of even. And then Stella was insecure because she thought that Ted still had feelings for Robin, which obviously he did, but he wasn't acting on him. He was ready to marry Stella. Turns out Stella was not ready to marry Ted, and then runs off with Tony.
And then on Friends, Ross was marrying Emily and was trying to debate on whether or not to invite Rachel,
and then called her Rachel in the thing.
Well, yeah, that's the punchline. But yeah, so Emily, when he was trying to debate on whether or not to invite Rachel at all, Emily was like, I mean, that's up to you, but I wouldn't feel comfortable with one of my ex-lovers being at our wedding. And that was my horrible British accent. And
yeah, it was.
I could do better when I'm feeling better. And the thing is, they get to the actual wedding. He ended up inviting her, but then she said she couldn't go. She ends up going, and she's just sitting in the audience. She was gonna, stop the wedding, but she just ended up sitting down and being like, you know what, I can't do that to them. And then he's so busy thinking about the fact that she's there that he says her name during the vows. And so it was a disaster, of course. But the point is, you shouldn't invite exes to your wedding, and exes shouldn't show up at your wedding. So before Ryan and I got together, I used to always tell my girlfriends, if my ex so-and-so ever showed up at my wedding, I would run off with him, because that's just the one, and blah, blah, blah. So much time has passed since then. That ain't happening. You show up, I'm gonna be like, please have a seat. Pounce it down. Because
don't touch the food until everybody else who RSVP has eaten.
Actually, that's it. You can get a plate after everyone else has eaten, because we didn't know you were coming.
You may have the leftovers.
But no, ain't nobody running away. Ain't no pleading to get nobody back. I don't think a woman should ever do that. I've never heard of a woman doing that. So the movie, this is a random story, but you remember the movie Sanaa Lathan was in where she cut off her hair?
What was that called? We literally just watched it. Let me Google it.
Like naked, natural.
Good hair.
Good hair? Bad hair?
Hair.
Nappy.
Nappily
ever after. So that was a tangent.
Mm-hmm. We got there though.
I love that naked natural turned into nappy. Nappily ever after. That movie, it didn't happen in the movie, but in the book, she kind of sort of was trying to do something like that. But anyway, that's beside the point. Read the book. It's a good book. Yeah, I just don't think that's cute. Like, if somebody is moved on, let them move on. Like, I just can't imagine a situation. I remember, like you said, a lot of sitcoms growing up that happened, and you were rooting for the underdog, like Dwayne and Whitley. Like, you want that to happen, for them to just like run off. But I mean, no, that's not how I would want to start a relationship with somebody else. Like, oh yeah, I was about to marry this other person, but now I'm gonna run off with you. No. And no, I haven't heard of that happening other than TV and movies, but
and
that would
books.
be so weird. Yeah, if one of your exes showed up at our wedding, I'd be like, look, You had 6 years to shoot your shot.
Right. And the bad part is
They've tried.
not everyone didn't shoot their shot. I'm gonna say it that way.
Look, that was the opportunity.
If they show up at the wedding,
sit down.
I'm throwing my hands up. I wasn't here. I didn't invite her. I didn't call her. If
you plead the fifth?
Yeah, I plead all the fifth.
Yeah.
All 5 of them.
Yeah, if either one of our exes shows up at our wedding, then I'm just going to be like looking at our friends like, so which one of you plotted this? Because, yeah, no.
I'm just going to act like a mob boss and then make a face and a small gesture at one of my groomsmen and have the situation dealt with.
Handle it.
Yeah, just like that, you know.
Like,
because I'm already be dressed up
Olivia
real nice
Pope.
anyway. So, yeah, I'm just going to make a little slight gesture like this. And then my goons will know what's up. So, yeah.
Thanks for that question, Ross.
Appreciate you for listening, Ross.
Yes.
Hey, Ross, tell a friend. All right, appreciate it.
The next question is from Dorian. And Dorian says, what are your top 3 dream vacation spots? And
is Dorian a fake name?
Yeah.
Okay.
These
cool.
are all fake names.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know if you want me to use your real name, but otherwise I'm using a fake name.
Okay, cool. Because I know a guy named Dorian.
Yeah, you do. I do too. And that's where I got it from.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So top 3 vacation spots, places you haven't been yet. So, okay. Places that we haven't been yet, which this is fun because I'm trying to think of where we want to do our honeymoon. So not necessarily for the honeymoon, but just places I want to go. I want to go to, I'm just going to say, because I have to say top 3, I'm going to say this is how I'm going to do it. And I apologize to these locations. I know every place is different, but I'm going to say somewhere in Asia, either Thailand, Singapore, or Japan, or I know it says somewhere you haven't been before, but I would like to go to a different part of China. My second one would be Europe. And that's just because, I just feel like you gotta go to Europe. I want to hit up Spain, Italy, France, all the hot spots, Amsterdam. Like, there's a lot of like really cool spots. And then my third one, and again, I know that Africa is a continent and not a country, but somewhere in Africa. And so I don't know if that's Ghana. I have a friend who's Ghanaian that I would love to plan a trip to go back with her. I have a friend who lives in Uganda right now, and I've been wanting to visit her ever since she's moved there, which has been several years. I got to get my coins together at some point and actually make that trip happen. But I just feel like, when Black Panther came out, we were all like talking about Wakanda, wish it was real. And one of my African friends was like, it is, you can go, book your flight. And I'm like, okay. And it's sad because we grew up with a very narrow view of Africa. You either got Zamunda and the Lion King, or you got you can help this child for 10 cents a minute, or 10 cents a month. And that is all we saw. So like, we grew up thinking, oh, all Africans are starving, and the only ones that are living their best life, it's a fictional story. And I just think that's so unfair. Because the older I get, the more I realize there are good and bad parts of Africa, just like there are good and bad parts of America. And, listening to Trevor Noah's stories and just like having friends, from Africa, reading different books like Behold the Dreamers, just makes me want to book my flight. Oh, and Homegoing. Is it Homegoing or Homecoming? Now Beyonce got me thinking about Homecoming. Anyway, another good book.
Man, I really need to get another video camera so I can record these video episodes. I wish you could have
so
seen
people
the face
can
I just
see
made
your
at her
face.
Like, Homegoing is when somebody dies, babe.
No, I think that's the name of the book. Okay, look. Behold the Dreamers is by Mbolo Mbue. Okay, I probably said that wrong. And then the book is called Homegoing. It's a novel by Ya Gyasi. 2 amazing books. And that made me want to book my flight and
Nice.
see where our people come from. Obviously, you know, we're so detached from it because of slavery, but, you know, I still want to make that trip. So those are my top three places I want to visit. Somewhere in Asia, somewhere in Europe, somewhere in Africa.
All right. I've had plenty of time to think about
Yeah,
my
you
answer
have,
to this
because I
question.
rambled.
Yes, you did. My Lord. Okay, so Tokyo, Lagos, and London.
So you basically, did you just narrow down my vague answer?
No. That's what my answer was about to be. I thought I was going to answer first like I normally do, but then you didn't let me.
Oh.
So Tokyo, Lagos, Nigeria, and London.
I can dig it, and that's awesome. So we can book our flights, and I want to travel together. So I'm glad
that's the plan.
that you want to too.
Yeah. Tokyo for the food and the
Yes,
technology
sushi,
that we don't
ramen.
have over here in America yet.
Yes.
And the cars.
the
Of
cars.
course, the
Tokyo
cars.
Drift.
Lagos for the culture. Right. And the food, of course. Love Nigerian food. And London, this is going to sound hella American,
Mm-hmm.
but the accents.
Yeah.
I just want to go over there and talk to whoever.
I love a good British accent. Also the French accent too. Like I was in Louisiana one time and got lost and like couldn't understand a word they said when they were giving me directions. I was like,
That's hilarious.
I forgot Louisiana is like pretty much a different country too.
It basically is, yeah.
So much French. Okay, our last question is from Stefan. And Stefan wants to know our favorite dish to cook and our favorite dish to eat.
So my favorite dish to cook used to be anything that was like, they used to be based on eggs. I used to be really good at cooking. I probably still am really good at cooking eggs. I used to make all kinds of scrambled egg dishes.
You used to make
stuff
really
like that.
good scrambled eggs.
But
forgot.
now eggs don't like me.
Yeah, we
So
stopped eating eggs.
I had to stop eating eggs because I started getting sick for some reason. I don't know if it was just some bad eggs or what, but there's been too many incidents that that resulted in me having terrible stomach situations. And here's the thing, I never get sick. I literally never get sick. I have not had a cold in like 5 years at this point. Sinus infections, allergies, none of that. None of that ever affects me. Last time I had the flu was after I got stomach sick from eating some eggs. So I guess eggs like tear up my stomach and then turn my immune system off and then automatically get the flu. That's the only time I ever get sick. So literally aside from that, I haven't been sick in I haven't had a cold in like 5 years. So now I'm kind of just team pasta. I enjoy making different types of pastas. I really like Alfredo. What else do I like? What else do I cook? I can make pretty much anything out of ramen noodles too. Not anything. But Graham said I could like make a steak dinner out of a pack of ramen. Because the way I'd get creative with it and dress it up and make it, not like a 25 cent. Yeah. Yeah, make it an experience,
Which is how actual ramen is for the record.
Which is why I want to go to Tokyo.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's like a better, other cities in Japan that have really good food, but the only one I really just know of is Tokyo and Okinawa. So either of those is fine. Point is, I enjoy noodles. I like pasta of any kind, really. I like making pasta. I think usually when I cook for you, like on special occasions, it's usually based on pasta. If you've noticed that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
I don't hate it. I was gonna say my favorite dish to cook is pasta. Actually, it's spaghetti. I remember obviously spaghetti's a really easy thing to make, but I remember when I was just a teenager, I learned how to master it. And when I got to the point where my sister said my spaghetti was better than our mom's, I was like, alrighty then. It's just the way I season it and doctor it up. Yeah, I love making spaghetti, which is so weird because I haven't made it in a long time. But yeah, I do love making spaghetti. My favorite dish to eat has got to either be a tie between tacos or nachos and sushi. I could eat sushi pretty much any day of the week. I could eat tacos or nachos pretty much any day. I'm so excited because I know I have an event coming up, and I just found out that the catering is going to be tacos, and I'm like, yep, already getting ready for that. So, you know, stuff like that. That's what I like. I like it a lot. So thank you, Stefan, for that question. Remember, if you want to send us a question, it could be anything random. It could be, you know, a big issue that you have going on in your love life. It could be drama at work, drama with family. We want to hear about it. You can just email us at askttrl@gmail.com, askttrl@gmail.com.
Yeah, real quick to go back to what we were talking about in terms of the food. Yes, tacos, nachos, burritos. I can eat all day, every day. There's like a Mexican restaurant around the corner from where we live. They know me by name now.
That's sad.
So funny.
But I love it because they do give us a discount. Like,
yeah, they do.
Or they'll throw stuff in for free or extra.
Yeah, so shout out to them. And then also the place where we get our fried rice, where we've been getting fried rice lately. They figured us out by name pretty quickly too.
Yes.
They just reopened in that location. Yes. Right? It's a truck. So it's like a mobile thing. They just opened up in that location. We were the first people to go through a rewards card, and we're already like halfway through the second one.
I it's ready. I just finished it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So now I know what I want for dinner this weekend.
I bet you ain't trying to have no spaghetti off though. My spaghetti versus your spaghetti.
I feel like we gotta wait and do that when we have kids so they can judge. Like we can't judge each other.
But I'm also looking for reasons for us to just kind of start a vlog. So
okay, I can dig it.
So if y'all want to see Tara and me cook, you know, let us know. Shoot us a DM, drop a comment, drop a like, or you know, not a like, because drop a like anyway, but you know, a comment about us starting a vlog where we cook against each other, or where we do whatever, you know, where we just do random daily things. I think that would be kind of fun.
Aww, together.
Oh, I haven't heard that in a while. That's an inside joke.
Yes.
Anyway.
So, moving right along to our love life advice of the week. Just a little quick tip in general for those of you who are booed up or trying to get booed up. I want to say, find you someone who can take care of you when you're sick.
I was right.
Here's the thing. You say you don't get sick ever. You know I get sick quite often, at least once or twice a year. And I've always had just a weak immune system. My dad used to make fun of me. Weak immune system. You always sick. Like,
yo, me and your dad are the same person, bro. I just wish I could have met him because I was always walking around talking about how my immune system is a beast because I never get sick. Like, my immune system a G.
So the thing is, when you are sick, it's the worst feeling. Like, you can't do anything. And I mean, we've talked on the show before about how great Ryan was with my ankle surgery. And I do want to talk about that more in detail on an episode. But just like the cold flu type symptoms or bronchitis or respiratory infection, whatever the doctor said I got, that kind of stuff. When I tell you, I felt like death. And I did not want to get off the couch or out of the bed. And I'm talking about, this was over the weekend. So I'm talking about for me on a Saturday, Sunday, and then had to call in Monday to like not want to leave the house. That's a problem. And it was beautiful. Usually the weekends when you want to get out and run your errands and do fun, cool stuff, I couldn't do no fun, cool stuff. Literally, I drugged myself to go see Little because I just really wanted to support my girl, Marseille Martin, and Issa. But yeah, it's a terrible feeling when you're hacking up a lung, but to have a person that you can text and say, hey, can you bring me home, you know, juice and soup and whatever, and have them show up with that Campbell soup, with the orange juice, the VA splash, the medicine, vitamin water, Gatorade, like whatever it is I need, you know, he's always been there for me. And it's just now that we're about to get married, I'm thinking even more about those vows in sickness and in health, in good times and in bad. And we've already been through that.
Yeah.
Like, which makes me even more confident to take that big leap with you because I know you got my back. I know, like, I don't even have to worry about that. And, you know, that's just it's a really great feeling. And I just want to say that that's like not a small thing. And, you know, when you are with someone and they're taking care of you, it's the little things. It really is the little things. You know, I mean, I'm sure he probably like, oh, yeah, that's gross. Like literally one day I was coughing, and I was coughing so hard he thought I was about to throw up. Like it was that bad. Do you remember that?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, because you're walking away from the bathroom. And I was like, why are you walking away from a bodily waste receptacle when you about to explode? I can tell.
My lungs were about to explode. Like it wasn't even, no, it was just a really bad cough. Which now made more sense for it to be a respiratory infection over a flu, because I've never had a cough that bad with a flu.
Nah.
So yeah, that was crazy. And I just would randomly break out into hacking. So I mean, yeah, it's been rough. So thank God for health insurance and drugs, and like stuff like that makes me even more upset with this whole political debate of health insurance, because it's such a blessing to be able to just say, I don't feel good, I need to go to the doctor, and go to the doctor, right?
In Canada, you go to the doctor for free.
Look, I'm just saying, affordable healthcare is a thing that affects everybody's daily life. Everybody gets sick to one degree or another. So, yeah, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, that's my quick tip. What's yours?
So my quick tip, when you first start a relationship and you on the phone late at night and y'all just sitting there caking, and you got your little butterflies in your stomach and you falling asleep on the phone, and all y'all doing is sitting there talking about your future and what you gonna do when this happens, and what you gonna do next, and when you can't wait to see each other and all of that. So I vaguely remember, you know, when we were long distance still at the beginning, and all we did was talk on the phone to each other literally all day. Mm-hmm. I still have a screenshot somewhere of us being on the phone for longer than 24 hours.
Yep.
But yeah, so I remember being on the phone like, when you get sick, I'm gonna bring you some soup. And I basically kept that promise.
You did.
So yeah, when you say stuff like that at the beginning of a relationship,
that's cute.
You know, it sounds cute, yes, it's adorable, yes, it's gross, but you have to actually do it, you know? So don't just like start a relationship on the basis that, oh, I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to be here for you for this, and don't just like get comfortable and stop doing those things, you know? It's always the little things. You got to stick to what got you on. I say that about most things.
It does.
It's like, you know, if that's what you started the relationship on, if that's why she fell in love with you, because you talked about the things that you want to do, and you're going to do this, and you want to be a certain way with each other and whatever, you have to stick to all of that, you know?
Absolutely.
Don't sell a dream and then be a nightmare.
Oh, say that one more again.
Don't sell a dream and then be a nightmare.
Preach. That'll preach.
Yeah. Go ahead and put a dash and my name next to that quote, because that was a pretty dope quote.
That was a pretty dope quote.
I didn't even try. That happens. Yeah, I've always been a good player of words. So yeah.
A wordsmith.
Yeah, indeed. So that's my love tip or whatever, relationship thing, advice, quick tip. I forgot what you called it. Quick tip. That was my quick tip for the week.
Follow us at This Is TTRL on Twitter and Instagram. We are on there, and you can stay updated and know kind of when new episodes drop. And also you can DM us if you have suggestions on things you want us to talk about. But yeah, definitely follow us on there.
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at THERY_C. I almost said This Is TTRL. Follow that too, but follow me. Said it again. Follow me. THERY_C.
And you can follow me if you want to at TCAR_examiner. I don't be posting nothing. I'm pretty boring.
She posts a lot. I don't know why she talks. Not a lot, but
Twitter
enough.
and IG.
Yeah. With that said, I believe that pretty much wraps it up. If you are interested in sponsoring an episode of TTRL, feel free to reach out to us at what's the other email address?
Are you serious right now?
I forgot.
The email address is
not Ask TTRL.
No. Is it info? Why are you putting me on the spot?
TTRLinfo@gmail.com. Send us an email at TTRLinfo@gmail.com. Let me make sure that's right, because that sounds right.
That sounds right. It must be right. TTRLinfo@gmail.com.
Yeah. So that'll do it. I'm just gonna cut the rest of that out. I'm actually gonna leave it in here so people can know what we sound like. So people can know what we sound like when I don't edit. Yeah. Because I'm literally just gonna turn around and edit the show. It's like a few like additional sound effects from the background I'm finna cut out. And
like
then,
me coughing.
Like you, yeah. Yeah, precisely. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap.
Have a great week.
That's a Black Woman's Hair at Night.
What I'm about to do.
Peace.